There is a great need in our country for a new way of teaching science. Recent media exposure has made us all aware of the need for quality science programs in our schools and of the serious consequences to our society if we ignore the problem. American Renaissance has developed a revolutionary way of teaching physical science to elementary school students. The kids find it fun and exciting, and it allows them to learn at a remarkable pace. Children who have experienced this program have coined a phrase to describe its appeal. They called it the Science Party. We couldn't be more pleased. So that's what we called it, the Science Party. Current research dealing with the human mind shows that the role education plays in the development of a child may extend far beyond that of just supplying information. It appears that by stimulating neurons in the brain, we can actually alter synapse formation. In other words, the structure of the brain is being created by the learning experience. It seems there is a window of opportunity with young children that can establish their capacity for learning. This realization strongly indicates that we cannot start teaching physical science in the high school years and expect to bring children to their full potential. We need to radically increase young students' level of exposure to scientific thought. To this end, we have developed the American Renaissance Science Education System, also known as the Science Party.
Learning science by rote memorization often leaves children with only a vague understanding of the rules governing nature. That's because words are empty to children who have nothing in their experience to relate to the concepts being taught. We must provide mental pictures that help them visualize the concepts. Without these mental pictures, the student is lost.
The American Renaissance method has effectively broken through this barrier with the introduction of physical analogy trainers and simulators, or PATS, P-A-T-S. These PATS are demonstrators that give physical analogies for abstract ideas or simulation for non-observable processes. They also serve as a focus to hold the student's attention. The PATS are built for hands-on use, allowing the children to experiment and discover for themselves ways of using and manipulating the laws of nature. We have developed all of our own demonstrators, and many are currently being patented. These are not the same old experiments in a new box.
One of the most important aspects of the American Renaissance approach is a system of teaching called the linear progression method. Concepts are taught in a stair-step approach. Each concept is explained with the help of the PATS. Once a certain concept is understood, it is used as a foundation to the next. Instead of the typical shotgun approach, we start with the basic building blocks of the universe: atoms, subatomic particles, force, heat, energy, and others. These concepts are synthesized and used to lead later to the understanding of basic chemistry, mechanics, and electronics.
It is true that most of us today find those subjects quite frustrating and confusing. That's because we did not effectively comprehend the building blocks. We just memorized them for a short period of time. A complete exposure to the linear progression method helps young children understand ideas that we would consider complex. The next step in the progression is living cells, organisms, and ecology. Finally, this body of knowledge is applied toward understanding the solar system and astronomy. This is the natural progression of understanding, from elemental building blocks to complex designs. It's totally amazing what an average child can learn once he or she understands the basic foundations.
All lessons are complete and do not require special science background for the instructor. They are virtually fail-safe for any teacher. Written in a narrative format, the lesson plans convey all of the information and techniques contained in the kits. Some teachers will prefer to read them as written. Others may choose to paraphrase or develop their own lessons around the PATS.
In developing this teaching method, we have placed emphasis on vocabulary, because words are the way we package ideas. Communication is lost when the listener and the speaker have separate mental images connected with the word. If the student defines the instructor's words differently than the instructor, the learning process becomes derailed, often causing greater confusion for the student. PATS help solve that problem. They provide a vivid visual image to be connected with a key word like energy or heat. Then, in later lessons, when the instructor uses this word to build on the concept, the student's mind will flash back to the demonstrator. Now the student's mental image agrees with the instructor's image, and the learning process is accelerated. The American Renaissance system of learning can begin at any grade from 3rd through 6th. We teach advanced concepts that will capture the imagination of the 6th graders, yet the basic starting point and easy progression will equally allow the 3rd grader to enjoy this learning adventure.
Along with teaching advanced science concepts, we also include stories that capture the wild imaginations of the children. These futuristic tales create an imaginary world where the vocabulary and concepts recently learned are applied to solve problems and save the fictitious characters from destruction. They are great tools for applying the lessons and locking in the ideas.
The American Renaissance Science Education System Science Party is an exciting adventure to say the least. Initially, it was created as a supplemental teaching tool, and it will work well in that capacity. However, we believe that in the near future, this method of teaching could become the primary lesson plan for every school in the nation. We encourage you to experience the Science Party for yourself. Order your first package of lessons titled Foundations of Science, complete with demonstrators, workbooks, written lesson plans, and instructional videos. Your children deserve the best, and you can give it to them. Do it today.